So here is a resign interface where an employee want to resign an employee. You can make him resign, giving a like resignation type status, resignation date, resigned status. Okay, and you can make an employee like attendance enable or disable. As I told, this is where the workflow module it comes, workflow role. So first is to assign employee workflow role. So let's say we create some roles like this and assign employee to each roles. So you can see who is the department manager, who is the HR, who is the CEO. And then we have the workflow builder. So after creating a role, we come here to the workflow builder. We have here options, adding by department, adding by position, or adding by employee. So here we have added three. For example, an event such as manual log, how it can be created. So adding by department. So go for add for department. Select, apply the code which you want to give and give a name and then content type and the department. Okay, start date and end date, which is approval period, and set it up the workflow. So I have an example here, set it. So this is how for the department it looks like. Okay, so when we create an under department, you can see the workflow, who is a first level. So the approval scope is for department manager, and there is again a notifier at the same time HR. And then we have the second level is approval scope is HR. So this is level 1 and level 2. So this is for department. And then we have for if you want employee wise. So if you want to set it up for a particular employee and workflow, you can define it also. So that is, you can again use this option, add for employee. So this is like we have set for one employee, and that is first level. And then we have based on position. So let's say for position, like we have software engineers or any other IT department positions, if you want to set, you can create it in this way. So this is how you create a workflow setup. And different levels, when you click on this, you will get to know who is the first level and who is the second level. Likewise, you can add for leave or any other overtime. So different events we have, let's say like content type, for these are the events which we can add the approvals. Okay, so then we have the configurations with the documents. So as I told you before, adding documents, first we'll create an document. First we'll create a document, and then you can go to employee and set it up here. So when you go to employee, you will get here a document, let's say, and you can here add Emirates ID or any passport expiry. Let's say for UAE or any other regions, we have here Emirates ID. So I had set a sample like Emirates ID with expire date and the email alert. So here we have the device settings, like in case for any verification, verify mode, you can choose your fingerprint, user ID or anything as per the verification settings. Then we have the attendance settings. Here is a self password for login, the employee self service. Then the workflow role. So here from the employee screen itself, user interface itself, you can create the roles. And then we have here enable attendance, like enabling schedule directly from the employee interface, or enabling holiday, enabling overtime. So all this we have in the personal module. So this is what I mentioned about the personal module. Then we'll come to the about the workflow. You can see here manager and who is a senior manager and who is a general manager. So this is different levels of overtime, which is sorry, no, levels of multi-levels approvals, like overtime or any leave or any manual log can be done using this workflow. Like adding custom attributes, adding different fields in case for customers wants to add extra fields in the software. This is what the biometric template enrollment, where you can plug in a biometric device, let's say for fingerprint separate or any palm device separate. This is for example as a palm registration. So you have to plug in the palm device, the enroller device to the laptop or any desktop. So you can directly click on this feature, which is shown here, and then register the palm. This is again for the face registration. So we have options for palm, fingerprint, and face. So directly from Biotime software, you have the enroller, you like USB camera, you plug in here in the laptop or desktop, then register directly from the software. So now we have the device module. So we'll now introduce the features of the device module. So here we have adding device and like checking the device commands in case of any issues, or in case, let's say, the synchronization is not happening, we'll get to know from the error logs or like device command logs. And we have the add and send messages to the employee, let's say like public and private message. We can directly send it from the device or from the software. Then we have editing the employee data, and then the work code, the bio template, bio photo, and transactions. Again, we have the operations like viewing, which is the what operations has gone on the device, like any error upload logs or any command logs can be seen from the device module. And then we have the mobile app feature. For mobile app feature, we can directly enable, disable the mobile app accounts and create any announcements for the admin users who can create announcements for the employees in case of any holiday or any events coming on. So viewing the operation logs and notifications. And then we have the geofence option. Geofence is a main new feature that we have added recently. By you can add by location, employee, or department. So configuring device communication settings and the biophoto approval. So the biophoto function is a new recently added, like for the visible light devices which supports. So all the photos, like let's say you have photos from already photos are there on in customer side, and you can use this photo directly to upload it from the software and do the enrollment, sorry, do the registration. So it's not required to directly enroll the employee from the device. So that is the main feature biophoto. So as I said, this is how the interface for the device module. So here you can see all the devices connected, and you can see the device model, device IP, all the versions like push version. Okay, and what is the last activity, and how many users or fingerprint or faces are registered on the device, and what is the lasting status with the CMD. The CMD here means the command for the devices. Let's say you're doing some operations like sending users from the software to device, or adding directly the employee from the device. So all the commands you can view it here. So that can be seen in device command. So, like let's say adding a device. So how will you add a device in the system? So now I have connected one device here, okay, which shows here online. So what I do is I will add all the network settings in the device. So once the communication settings are properly done on the device, that means a cloud server setting for connecting to BioTime 8.5. So here I have, this is my cloud server. That means this is my local IP and the port number. So I had inputted this IP and port number in cloud server setting. Server address, server IP will be this, and server port is this. So I have a device connected to network, the TCP, and here you can see once it is online, it will come under unregistered area, which is like here you can see area as not authorized. That means the area is still to be authorized. So automatically the device will recognize in not authorized area. So you will have to come here and select the device, assign the area. Now I have assigned to area and setting the time zone, whichever region the device belongs to. And in case if you want to set it as standalone access control, you have the option here to make it as yes or no. So configure all these settings from here, and then when you click on confirm, you can see all the data is synced. That means you will know how many users, how many faces are there in the device, and how many transactions. So this is how you connect a device to BioTime. And then in case of any, let's say for commands or anything, if you want to know, you get here in the device command, the data. Okay, so this is how you add a employee to different multiple areas. So creating first an area from the software, adding to the device, assigning the device to the area, then create an employee and assigning area to the employee. So first you go to personal area, add a new area like this, which is already added with the code, the name, and if in case if an area belongs to any parent area, so use that also. And then come to the device, you have the device here, assign the device to the area from the list which is a drop down you get. After you confirm, you can see the devices is added and it is online. And then you go back to personal employee. Okay, so this operation you can do at the start when you add an employee or assigning the area. So first of all, if you know where the employee belongs to which area, then you can assign directly in the import template in area column the area names. Or if you don't know the existing areas of the employee, first you can import all the employees starting and then later come back here and assign the area from this interface. And another, the biophoto feature, the main function you can see here, this is used for bulk upload. As I said, in case of like employees don't want to enroll directly on the devices, you can use their photo as an image, like in an image format, and you will upload it in bulk from the software with the employee ID name. You can rename the photo with the employee ID, like 123 or something, 1234. And you will have to note one thing, like the name of the photo should be the employee ID only. In case if you have if you name it with different like alphabets or any other things, it will be it will show an error. The system will show an error. Okay, and even there is a function called QR code. So using QR code, what you can do is employee can directly scan the QR code, and it will again navigate to the like the link where the, let's say the employee is using a public IP or a dying DNS account to register their like biophoto. So when you scan the link, the public IP of the BioTime will open, and then he can enter his all the details and register the photo. So this is where the biophoto, the function which I told. So you can scan the QR code. When you refresh this or download this, you can directly register it from the QR code link. And once the employees confirm the registration from their mobile phone or any other device, automatically you can see here the status will be pending. So that means someone has to approve, like an admin has to approve the photo, then only it will go to the device. Then only the employee can directly register their, verify their face on the device. And this is an import biophoto for upload. So click on upload here, choose the photos from the list, and then you can confirm it. So this means all the the images must be in employee ID. It should be in employee ID format. That means 1.jpg or 2.jpg. That must be the format. Okay, this is the device module. So device module, data sync mode. So here we have the configurations for making the device as a registration device or no, or making resigned employees, whether you want to filter it in the reports or no, and whether you want to make, let's say when a device is connected to network and automatically it gets detected to BioTime. So you want to make this as allow auto add. You will have many devices connected, and if you want to restrict some devices not to add to the software, you can use this option. And then we have a allow upload name. If you don't want to allow the names to be uploaded, you can make it enable yes or no, and allow download name, all the same. Then we have the data sync mode. So here we have based on manual, timing, and real time. So it is up to you. You can choose whether it is based on real time, timing, or manual in cases based on the customer scenarios. So data sync, you know that let's say if we have to register employee in one area, automatically if the devices, if the employees are belonging to different areas, all the data will be synced in the real time. That means auto synchronization is happening between devices and server among the same area. That means if you have devices, different devices connect to the same area, all the data will be synced at the same time. That is, simultaneous data synchronization will happen, and an employee can verify their face or fingerprint from any of the location where the device it is in the same area. The device is in the same area. And this is a geofencing option, the main option we have introduced for mobile app. So to restrict employees to clock in, clock out from a particular location. So this one you can set it by latitude, longitude. We have here location settings. So to enter a location name, and you can define the distance in meters and the latitude, longitude with the start date and end date. So this geofence module, you can set it either by location setup, employee setup, or department setup. So location setup, it's like this. So here we have a map feature. So this is integrated with Google Map. You can choose the area. Let's say I'm choosing my tower here. So I will select like this. I have to input the latitude, longitude, and then the location, it gets automatically added. So I choose my location from here. So I have to enter my location directly in this, and then I can see where my location is. So automatically the latitude, longitude gets loaded here, and this is how I can add the location. So here you have here confirm. So one location is added with latitude, longitude. So likewise we have, first we add all the locations, and then we go to employee, add employee to different locations. So you have here any single employee can be added to multiple locations. And here you can define, let's say, the start date and end date. Confirm. So this is how you add the employee setup geofence. Similarly for departments also. So if you want to know that if you want to add for department wise the locations for marking the attendance using mobile app, you can choose this option for department setup. So this is a main module. Now we'll explain about the attendance main module. So overview, how it looks like. We have here the setup pay code, the fixed code, and the groups. So these are the main new options added. And then we have the global department, global rule defining, the department rule defining, and group rules. Then we have creating shifts like break, for break time, timetable, and like flexible normal shifts. And then you can define the schedules for the employees and can be viewed also. There is a preview option. And like we can handle all approvals for manual log, overtime, schedule adjustments, and all the for training, all the approvals can be handled from attendance module. And then the main feature, which is the overtime, like rule defining and level setting, and calculation for all the settings done. So once we do the calculation for all the employees, then we get the daily report or any total time card report as per the schedule shift assignment. So the main new feature, the overtime, we have enhanced it, like overtime function based on calculation, or like based on calculation overtime or approval overtime. So there are three main options, which I will share the screen from the software and show you in detail. And the newly added reports like monthly absence report and leave balance report. Okay, so the attendance module, here we have different options. First is setting based on department, group, and employee. So this is like a schedule. So first we add the timetable shift and then we set up the schedule. And even in the schedules, you can set flexible auto shift, cross day, and multiple timetable. So this one, it can be supported like multiple employees, you can set it at once. If you want to make it as department or group or any employee, it is like an easy job. You can directly choose the details and select, add it. And then we have rules for setting on non-scheduled list. Let's say an employee is work coming on a non-scheduled there which schedule is not added, and you want to define some rule for those days, that option is available. And attendance calculation in real time, so you don't have to go, and it is like actually one time adding all the settings and doing a calculation one time. That means from next day onwards, automatically based on check in check out and the schedule shift configuration done for the employee, the calculation is done in real time. So the admin user or the supervisor directly, he can take out the report. No need to do every time the calculations. Okay, and then we have the auto export of attendance reports. So main reports like total time card, daily attendance, all this report can be auto exported. So this is what I said about the pay code, fixed code, and group. So for the pay code, in case of payroll settings, let's say a customer want to do some third-party system integration. So we have a full fledged attendance report with all these pay codes. So they can directly get this value from our attendance software, where you can see the normal overtime, weekend overtime, late, and so all this in pay code we get. And then we have a symbol here, and if you want you can add new. So these are the default ones for overtime, leave, exceptions, and regular. So these are the type of pay codes. Apart from this, we have fixed pay code. Fixed pay code means like duration, duty duration, like total hours spent by the employee in a day, worked hours, and all this. Like you can see, these are the fixed codes. So fixed codes is coming from the software directly, and pay code is also a default one. If you want, you can add new. And here we have the new option, it is to set color. So for different pay codes, you can understand while seeing the color itself, okay, what is a pay code. Directly in the report, when you go there in the report, you will come to know from the color settings. Then we have group wise. So first you can create a group. And you can define, you can get all the employees into this group. If you want to specifically add some rules only for this group, when you click on this, okay, these employees rules belong to something different. So you can choose whichever you want and assign the settings here. Then we have rules here. Rule is the global rule. So here, global rule is applicable for all employees if you set this. And if you want separately, you can have the department and group rules. So basically, this global rule is setting the weekends. Like any company will be having a weekend. So setting, like let's say in Middle East region, we set it like Friday, Saturday, and start of the week is Sunday, and different color settings. If you want to make it in the report, like no in detail, like Friday, oh, whichever is weekend. Then we have rule for non-scheduled days. It's maximum work hour. So first you will have to set it a maximum work hour and these details. Then we have the overtime rule. Okay, so the main rule which I talked about is the overtime rule. So here you can see we have different options to choose whether to overtime role based on calculation overtime, or approval overtime, or which approval OT as priority or minimum OT. So this calculation OT is coming from the normal punch in punch out role settings, that timetables which you set, and the punch is done. So let's say if you set it in a normal way, like an employee is working from 8 to 5 shift, and after 5 p.m. employee overtime starts. So that is like basic calculation, which is calculation overtime. And then we have the approval overtime. So after 5 o'clock, and I can apply for overtime. That is, it will go through an approval process where different levels of approver will approve the overtime, and then finally it comes in the report. So which one, if I whether I can choose, like admin can choose whichever option is required. So either a calculation overtime based on the normal punch in punch out and the records, or when I apply for the approval separately. So, and apart from this, we have priority. So either of both, which one should be priority? So that is approval OT priority. And apart from that, minimum overtime. So if you want minimum, also choose this. So for each rule, you can have a weekend overtime setting as well. Let's say weekend or holiday. So in case if I work on a weekend, I should get overtime. So the weekend overtime is work hours assigned to, you can choose from this drop down list. Okay, I have selected here weekend OT, and I can define the range. Work hours ranges from between 8 to 10 or something. So specifically, if you have different levels to set in your company, you can choose this option. So that is how similarly for holiday overtime also. Then calculation settings, it is the same as we have the late exceeds. In case an employee is late for these many minutes, and whether it has to be counted as absence or not, and app settings, attendance alert settings. Okay, sorry, I was on mute. I was explaining about how to add the normal timetable and flexible timetable. I have to. Then we have assigning timetable to the employee, like choosing department wise, employee wise, or temporary schedule option we have here in the schedule. So select the employee from the list and directly choose the shift from the right side and assign it for the employee start date and end date, and click on confirm. So this is what the assigning timetable to the employee. Then we have for temporary schedule, we have the option a calendar view where you can choose the shift from the right side and drop it to the calendar, whichever date is applicable. So in this way, you can define for temporary schedule in case of Ramadan months, we have different timings. So for all those applications, you can use this feature, the temporary schedule. And then we have the main option, which is the import option, importing employee schedules. So there are two options here. We can import either by timetable or by shift. That is in a batch. So you can make it as a let's say a roster type of importing schedule, where you can define different timetables or different shift names directly in the Excel. The format looks like this, and import it at once. And this is another schedule view. So whatever schedules you have added, when you click on schedule view, you will get to know, okay, in this calendar month, for which day I can see what is the schedule. So this is actually seen by the admin users as well as some supervisors who is having who should be assigned to do this for his employee, for their group of employees which is assigned to. Okay, like different companies like hospitals, all they'll be using this. So in that case, they can use this option. And there is option also for viewing by person. And we have here schedule view for all the employees, or in case if you want to view by person, this is how the interface it looks like. And again, from the calendar, you can right click on this calendar and then you can add temporary schedule or adding leave or clear temporary schedule. So this is the main option we have. Okay, the multi-level approvals. This is I explained to you already. And then the main overtime module, like how to set the OT rule. So for the schedule hours and for the non-schedule hours, and which has to be calculated for payroll calculation can be used. So all the overtime, you can see pay codes here. The whichever type is categorized as overtime can be listed from this pay code. And then we have the main reports. We have here transaction, daily report, weekly, monthly, and summary. So these reports can be exported to CSV, PDF, Excel, all the types is available, and it can be filtered by department, employee, and area. And like date period, you can choose whether today or this week or this month. So for different type of reports we have. Next, coming on to payroll module. So payroll module here is the main is employee profile. So again, in employee profile, we will set, there is an option for setting the payroll settings. So in payroll settings, what we do is whether we can payment type is cash or monthly, cash or a card. So all the settings can be done from the employee self-service, employee profile, and which can be viewed here. So here we have different formula settings like overtime, exception, or leave. All these formulas can be set here. And finally, this calculation is based on completely about the based on the attendance report. So main attendance reports, you will have all the late, early leave calculations. So based on the hours, you can define the payroll here. And then the module, the access control, which is a simple access control module. You can connect all the standalone devices to this module. So based on the license which you have purchased, whether it's an how many doors, like 2 or 3 or 4 doors, you can add from the system, and like it works as a standalone access control. So standalone access control, you can set like different time schedule, access control options like holiday settings or any access group defining or making any unlock combination. Okay, so all the standalone access control devices only can be added in BioTime. Like in Bio C3 all, it's not supported. Okay, then the main module we have is visitor module. And this is a newly added one. Here we have a visitor reservation and approval. Like when a visitor wants to join in a company, like when a visitor wants to, before arriving, what we will do is we can send a link to the invite link to the reservation, making the reservation and getting it approved. So this is actually a workflow and a process. So I'll come to the interface where you can see how the visitor management or visitor management system looks like in the system, in the software. Okay, so here is where you can do the registration and then can see the visitor status like entry registration. And then we have the reservation, configuration, parameter settings for QR code, whether it has to be auto approved or someone has to be approve it, or whether it has to be go directly as approval. Then we have visit reason, and then the data, like you get to know here how many visitor records are there, and with biophoto, and separately the transaction. So this is a simple visitor management module. We have it in BioTime. We have added it recently. Okay. And here you can view by you can view the visitor details like previewing, or in case this is you, if you want to download this and have access to the gates, so you can use this option. And online, if you want to send by email, this visitor card can be sent directly by email. Next is the meeting module. Again, this is a newly added module. So here we can add different devices. So these are the models which is supported in BioTime software. You can see Face Kiosk H13A, Face Depot 7B, G4 and G3 Pro. So these are the main devices for meeting module is supported. So here we have the device management, like adding the meeting devices and then setting up the meeting room, sending the request for meeting and approving meeting approval. Then here we have notifications like email notification can be sent from the software, and then finally getting the meeting report statistics. And again, this meeting module can be integrated. It is already integrated with Zoom, integration with Zoom meeting module to support online meetings. So here you can see how the interface looks like the meeting module room. So here you can create a room first and adding device to the room. Then we have meeting like points, like here you can set up the meeting events, like in case of HR meeting or in any training you can add it. So this is again a detailed module where you can add different type of meetings which is going to occur daily, like okay, in a company. And here when you there is an approval function, whether to approve, revoke or reject. Again, this is also based on the workflow, and then the menu for adding the attendee and syncing to device. So you can see a sample records here added with how many attendees and meeting room and what is the purpose and what is the apply time. So all this can be viewed from this interface. And finally, whoever joins the meeting, you can see the logs here and what is the punch time, punch date, and with reason. And then we have the transaction. With all these columns, we get the data. Now I have not added any device here in meeting, so you cannot see any data here. Okay, so only specific models can be added in meeting module, specific model devices. And then we have the detailed report. So attendance detail and meeting room schedule details. Next is the MTD module, mainly for temperature mass detection. It is as a dashboard view, as well as you can send automatically the email notification or any mobile app notification will be sent in case of any abnormal records happen. So this is how the interface looks like with a dashboard view and email, how the alert will be sent. Like let's say for the email case, or how SMS, for the private announcement for the mobile app. And then finally the statistics report. So this is what sample interface it looks like with abnormal records and normal records. So as per the temperature setting that you do in the system, you will get how the data it looks like. And this is a dashboard view where you can see different statistics here, like department summary, HR, IT, design. So you will get to know how many department there is abnormal temperature and no mask and no like unregistered personnel has checked in or something like. So here is the transaction report with temperature and mask. Here you get to know the capture photo, and with mask or what is the temperature, current temperature of the employee when during the time of punching. And then finally these reports, daily details, department and abnormal details report. Here is a setting for temperature warning. Okay, now coming on to the last module, the system module. Here there are main options we have is database backup and restoration, and for LDAP integration like Zoom or any LDAP or Active Directory integration, you can there is an option can be seen it if it is done through API or middle table. So and the database backup, you can see it supports ZKTime.net 3.0, ZKTime Web 2.0, BioTime 7 and WDMS. And here we have detail like attendance report and transaction auto export function, where you can send it by email. We have a API integration manual. So we share it to our customers. So any customers who is ready to do the integration by themselves, they can access this API manual and get the data from BioTime. So again, in the system module, we have notifications. See, for each type of events like manual log, overtime, or any leave application. So how the notifications, you get all the notifications here in user notification. So I'll share you the screen to show the system module. Okay, in system module, you can define different users here, like a supervisor or any administrator, extra administrator access you need to give, you get it here. And then we have the notification. So here you can see manual log application. You can see online, when the device goes online and when the device goes offline, you will get a notification. Okay, then we have the database backup, restoring manually, backup automatically, backup manually. So automatically when you schedule this daily at this particular time, the setting is done, the backup will be automated and saved in the particular folder. And backup manually, you will have to choose it manually. Then we have the migrate option. As I said, the software supports 2.0, BioTime 7, ZKTime 2.0, BioTime 7.0, WDMS, and ZKTime .NET 3.0. So you will have to choose a database types, whichever is applicable from this list, and give the options, like give the settings of the database. Okay, so here is a integration. So in case if you do integration like middle table integration or any API related data, you can view it here in this middle table. So whatever is done, let's say some integration, if we do like area, department, position, let's say from SQL or Oracle or any other database, MySQL, you get the details here. What is the status pending, whether it is everything is successful or not, you get it here in this list. And then for this is auto exporting, manually exporting or auto exporting the transaction report. So the main interface, it's like if you want to add some FTP path, you want to export the data, export the report, it is option is available, setting the FTP server here, auto export email and FTP path. And then the main logs, all the audit logs can be seen in this. You can see here the user log. So which all users are accessing this application, and the IP and the details like the actions performed. And then the system log and API request. So if you do API integration from the software, you will get some logs from this. So you will get to know in case of any errors or something is there. So you will get to know here the status and time. Then the main configurations of the system module, where you set the logo, the email SMTP server configuration, where after you do this, you get all the notification for leave, manual punch, and all the types of events which we have. Then the settings for the PDF export, the punch state option, and the week setting of like now start of the week, which day has to be set. See, this is where I've told you the LDAP integration, LDAP setup. So if you have customers want to do AD integration, so these are the common fields which we have here supported. So they'll be having a connection details. So they will have to input the host address, username and password, and do the test connection and fill up the following information. For the Zoom integration, this is the interface where you can have the token key from the Zoom and use the email and enable it to use it from BioTime. This Twilio setting is for SMS server, for integration with mobile SMS server integration. So they can use this option for Twilio. So enter the mobile number here, and they'll be having an account ID with an authentication token. So input it here and enable for this to work. So SMS option, SMS server integration. Then again the FTP settings for sending some files to the FTP path. So whether it's SFTP or no, set the port number and information. Other details has to be inputted here. So that's all we have, I think. Then the alert settings, the main alert settings here you can see. So we have in the interface notification also. I can show you here in the software notification, you get it here. When you click on this, you get to know all the type of notification like manual log application, the device, online, offline, all can be seen here when you click on this. A bell icon. This is again, I explained about the data management, like how to auto export the reports and taking the database backup from the system module. And this is a template settings. So coming to the specifications of BioTime software, the server specifications. You can see here the system architecture, it is a server browser and supports a maximum of 500 devices in a single server. The databases supported is Oracle, MySQL, MS SQL, and Postgres is the default one. And then we have the operating system starting from Windows 8 it supports, and the latest version like Windows Server 2016 also. And with each, the hardware requirements mentioned here is the system architecture for 100, 200, and 500 devices. So now we'll come to the mobile application, the features. So mobile application is mainly used, you can, main function is for geofence using setting up the location and employee setup. This is a user-friendly interface for the employees to clock in, clock out, and with the real-time geographic location can be seen from the software, and like real-time notifications can be viewed for let's say leave application, some request and approval can be managed using BioTime mobile application. Then the attendance reports also can be seen. This mobile application is supported in different language. It supports Arabic as well. And there are two interfaces for admin, and there is a separate interface for admin and separate interface for employee. So admin will have so many options apart from the employee, like let's say approving the leave, or like managing some settings in the as an admin, like profile settings. So all those options will be available in admin login. In employee login, employee can view their attendance and request for leave. So this is one of the online request form, like an interface from the employee login. You can see here the requesting for leave, overtime, manual punch, and training. Different types of requests can be sent. So when an employee applies for leave of any of these events, it will go through an approval process in when workflow is set, like multi-level approvals. So according to the workflow approval, this will be carried over. This process will be carried over. So leave, overtime, manual punch, training, and schedule. And this approvals option you can see only in admin module. This won't be available in employee module. So this is again the schedule adjustment where employee can view his schedule. So there is no option to edit schedule or anything from mobile app. So there is an option to request for schedule change. So employee, when he's requesting for schedule change, this will go to the admin or the supervisor as per the workflow role setting in the server, and the process will be carried out from there. And here we have the online notification options where you get, like in case of leave, overtime, applying, requesting, approving, all the notifications can be seen in this interface in notifications. And some of the applications can be used in some of the scenarios, like in case of government organizations who is very highly secured area for managing their attendance. and in some schools and universities and some construction sites, for hospitals for managing the attendance, like roster type of schedule if they have, and many of the use cases we have. So if you want to try this application, you can download it from our website or use our demo link. The username and password is given here. You can check our website, Middle East website, for downloading the package, or mobile application can be downloaded from Play Store or App Store. Okay, thank you all for your time.